Wow, welcome our viewer. It's season 2 of Keep Evolving. We are happy to be back. It's been quite a while.
Yep.
And we look forward to another time together. So, karibuni sana to Keep Evolving, episode 1 of season 2. Your host is Jackie Legoki, and my co-host on my right is Wangeshi Joanne, and on my left, Benjamin Gishohi.
Yes.
Today we want to talk about nurturing great family habits. So we want to understand what are family habits, what are some of the examples, and how can we ensure our families are thriving because we are nurturing great family habits. So karibuni sana Joanne and Benja.
Asante sana.
Good. So we can start off, and I'll start by asking, when we think about family habits, Wangeshi, what comes to mind?
I think about things that we obliviously or not get so used to doing as families. Like, I almost said habits, but activities that we constantly get involved in, every single time, and it's become a repetitive thing. That's what I'd refer to as a family habit.
Okay.
Yeah. And they mean different things to different families.
All right.
Yeah.
So this would be like the routines we find within the family, something that we do not once. Maybe in a year you've seen you've done it severally. All right. Benja, family habits. And maybe you can give us even a few examples as we kick off.
All right. Like you said, both of you, the things that we do, well, she hinted at obliviously or not. So some of them are things that we begin to do deliberately, or we get there intentionally, and we say now, from today, we shall be having devotion in this family every evening. And mom and dad say whether we are in or not, must sit down at 7:30 and for 30 minutes do a family devotion, read the Bible and pray together. So that then, down the line, it becomes something that family cannot do without. You get to realize that this is something we have actually never not done. So by and by, it may be that big, or something very small. Something like birthday meal. And you say all birthdays will be celebrated by family at breakfast. And on the birthday of someone, everyone sits down, someone makes breakfast, and we all sit and have the birthday, and then everyone goes their way. So whether you remember during the day to say happy birthday or not, we have done the family something for you or together, So from the little things that we do to adults, and there with examples. Yes.
Wow, that's a great example. I like when you bring the aspect like it's your birthday, and we agree on this specific day that all of us have to wake up early, and we share breakfast. It's something we don't normally do. So that would be a good thought to pick our audience. That's a great habit to have as a family. So let's see, how are these habits formed? Because I want to imagine that since it's repetitive, it's something you'll do once or twice. So how can we get to the point where we are saying, now this has become a habit? How do we get there? How do we form these habits?
Something Benjamin said when he was speaking, he talked about how you get to a habit intentionally. Like you decide intentionally to get to that place, and then now you have to keep it. And I think that's one of the ways that you can form a habit. So deciding as a family, like the way he talked about, we will be doing devotion. Sometimes I feel like it's as straightforward as that. Like you just, talk as a family and decide, okay, fine, we'll be doing this. And everyone becomes aware. Like it becomes like a thought in the mind of everyone in the family. If it's about celebrating each other's birthday, we decided that we would be doing this. So every other time, you actually remember, oh yeah, it's her birthday, so tomorrow we're waking up early and doing breakfast and then going about our way. So I think we come back to the word that we used a zillion times last season, which is intentionality.
So there has to be intention. And possibly we can also say that you have to create that conducive environment. That intention also plays on this. Okay, Benja, you want to add?
Yes. Intentionality. We are dragging season 1 into all your places. We do not have a podcast. Thank you. Intentionality, because there are habits that you follow. Like, okay, waking up is not a habit. Waking up late is a habit. See, you can have this thing that consistently you're the one that makes people late to get some
Yeah.
Because you wake up late, you take a shower late, you take forever to choose your outfit. So everyone is there waiting for you. Bad habits. But when we talk about intentionality, and you brought about the issue of the environment, we're saying when we realize as a family that what we do is actually building us up, then we continually create the space for it to grow.
Yeah.
For instance, the birthday thing. Why would we not as a family sit down and just do something together? Why not? And when we realize that if it's say a meal for the birthday, it's making the family, come together so much. It's bringing the relationships with the family together in a big way. And of course, if you're from a big family like me, birthdays are all over.
Yes.
And in some months, you have like 4 or 5 4 or 5 birthdays. My family will be working and September imejaa.
September.
September will be funny, maybe.
It's the 9th month.
So you can imagine that month. If you were to do family breakfast for birthday, we will do like 6, 7 breakfasts together, like that one meal. If we are intentional about it, that means that during that period, everyone actually takes their time to build it. If there is a budget, like Changia, if there is someone who needs to move from one spot place A to place B, we all come together and we nurture this thing that we are saying. This is creating cohesiveness within them. It is killing the bad vibe, the bad energy. And when we are together, we just do something small. It may be outing. You can just say, let's go to Arboretum, throw to Chezekati as a family. Every 2 months, every 3 months, and we just do that, and it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
And we are saying, when you nurture it, it continues to thrive. Nobody is feeling like, so I drive all the way to go and play Kati. I can play Kati in my bath. It's having positive energy towards continually doing that thing.
Wow, so elaborate. And you're reminding us that in addition to intentionality and the conducive environment, there's a thing of you have to do it again.
Yes.
That we can't form a habit by doing it once.
Yeah.
And I think we have to be patient that sometimes we do it once, the next time it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But again, you have to say, have the positive attitude.
Yes.
I need this to work. Can we also think about the aspect of working together as a family so that you are able to share? You say like the person who comes up with the idea, you're able to share with the others and have them come in so that they also take ownership. So we are saying that form habits as a family. Don't be so individualistic.
Yes.
And if you're the leader, the individual, remember to engage the rest so that we have acceptance. Okay, now let's think, these are positive habits that we are talking about.
Yeah.
We cannot underestimate the fact that even families, there can be negative habits.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Benjamin, if you think of negative habits, what comes to mind? And how then do we also learn, or do we start finding ourselves having negative family?
Of course, these are family conversations.
Yes.
We all have someone in the family who we are like, why do they do this? You're almost not you don't get, or you actually get, but it's an activity that is repeatedly done that begins to draw energy out of the family. It is negative. The impact it brings to the family is it brings conflict.
I feel like emphasizing that.
Yes.
It brings negative energy to the family, and it brings conflict.
Yes. So if a habit, you may think it's good.
Yeah.
It will be giving you joy. But if it is bringing conflicts to the larger family, then it becomes negative that way. Because family is about love. And love is kind. It is not selfish. It does not seek after its own pleasure. It is not selfish. So when you find that something you consistently do away from the family and becomes my thing, this is me doing me, and I don't care what you feel, or I know you're not feeling, but this is me, and it gives me joy but hurts the rest of you. Then your love is lost. Any kind of thing that you really do that draws away the positive energy or brings negative energy to your family and causes conflict between family members or between you and family members, that is a negative habit.
It's a negative habit. I know we'll be looking at this like how can we sort out such changes, because I want to think that again there's room for conversation.
Yeah.
Especially if I feel, yes, there's an aspect of I should not just have my own individual interest, but the interest of the family. But there are times that I may find myself that I have a habit that I really feel it's adding value to me, and possibly in conversation we'll be able to find how would it add value to the rest of us, then bring conflict. So, Joanne, yes, negative family habits, and what would you like to contribute, and how do we learn some of those negative family habits?
I think some of them are picked from leisure.
Yeah.
The things that we do for leisure.
Very
At the point where I've had so many people in my age group talk about how they picked habits like drinking from their families. Like they used to drink as like they saw their parents drink as they were growing up, and so as they grew, it became a normal thing. After dinner, there's always something to drink. That is not tea or water.
Yeah.
So they grow up with that kind of a mentality, and it becomes a habit. And it was just something that was done, when we have free time, when we're just having a random conversation, that's what we do. And so I feel like most of the habits, actually, both positive and negative, may actually be picked from leisure activities. Because I feel like when you are having your free time, when you're just, spending time together, you are in your most original element. You don't try being anything. Like when you're in the house, you put your feet on the sofa and you are in your best element, So I feel like the things that you do at that time very many times contribute to habits that begin to, become things that you actually do as a family. So drinking is just one of them. There are very many other things, or just making fun of each other. Sometimes it starts from making fun and then it becomes bullying, and then, you don't even know when you're crossing the line. So those are some of the things I feel, those are some of the places I feel these habits may be picked from. Yeah.
All right. I think one of the things you also brought out is that even within families, we have family friends, and within family friends there are peers.
Yeah.
So even peers could actually contribute to these family habits.
Yeah.
And as you speak, I'm also thinking about social media.
Yes.
I think they are definitely, it's a big place right now, where some habits are coming as a result of the social media.
Yeah.
Wow. Great. We are watching Keep Evolving. This is season 2, and we are discussing family habits. The key question is, are our habits more geared towards building a cohesive family, or are there habits that actually are becoming a source of conflict and, of course, destroying your family? Our desire is that families continue to flourish. So keep watching. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Are you looking for African-themed items, brass jewelry, kitenge outfits, souvenir, artwork, and beaded items? Look no further. Mario Fashion House got you. We are a purely online shop with free delivery within Kahawa Sukari and Nairobi CBD. Buy from us and pay on delivery. For more details and purchases, call or WhatsApp 0732 279 063. Buy Kenyan, build Kenya. Asante Sana.
Welcome back, our viewer. We are discussing family habits. Yes, family habits ought to make our families flourish, and so we pray that you will be challenged today to think of creating and being intentional about creating family habits, and that they would continue to enable your families to thrive. Welcome back, Joanne and Benjamin. And possibly we can discuss now, thinking about the positive and the negative habits within the family. We can start with the positive. How would positive habits help to make families to thrive? How would positive habits affect our families? I know Benjamin had already talked about the issue of cohesiveness.
The positive family habits will help individual members of the family also grow, like as individuals.
Yeah.
If you form the habit of congratulating each other, and telling each other when you're doing well, and affirming each other, basically, if you form the habit of telling your children as they go to school in the morning you look good, then it builds their confidence as individuals. So the habits,
I feel like repeating that, a habit of affirming one another.
Yes.
That's also a great family habit.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you keep doing that, it pours out to the individuals in the family. So wherever the individual members are, they are already affirmed. They walk in confidence wherever they are. So what you do together really pours out into the individuals as they go about their days.
Yeah. And that takes us back to the fact that you are also creating a conducive environment for them, like to affirm each other.
Yeah.
I think nothing as great as feeling at least in a place where you're appreciated. All right, Benja?
Let me come up with that one with the verse that says, encourage one another as long as it is called today, that no one falls from grace. That affirmation. Now, it is the basic unit of support is usually the family.
Yeah.
For most people, I understand people with different backgrounds in their families. Unfortunately, they were not able to have that basic form of support.
Yeah.
But those of us who have been privileged, if we could now begin to see that as a God-given place for nurturing all of us, like taking care of each other, so that all of us grow together. And even if you did grow up in the conventional family or in the traditional family, father, brother, sister, and siblings around you, but you found a few people around you who you could actually call, your family.
Yeah.
That's your basic unit of support. We always find that there are habits that come in that are quite, contrary to building each other. And unlearning is something that you need to normalize.
Yeah.
When you realize that this thing we have been doing, it's kind of like she was talking about before we went to the bed.
Yes.
You picked up something, it became norm, and you find that there is just how you speak impacts someone or people within your basic unit of support negatively. And we must begin to normalize to unlearn habits or things that drain energy out of the family.
Yeah.
Because a basic unit of support means that is the pillar. That is your fallback plan. That is your plan A. That is your plan B up to Z. So you normalize unlearning things that are impacting this space negatively. If you're bringing negative energy, then you need to change. Like we say, intentionality. Yes.
One of the things that I'm also thinking is this whole idea of family conversations. Because you see, there's an element of taking stock. And I think we need to become, intentional to take stock. I think it's high time as families we could sit and ask ourselves, what family habits do we practice?
Yeah.
And how are they impacting on the family? I think it's a challenge we are challenging our viewers. Who is the family? Like, take time, take stock, and see which of these family habits, which are the positives and which are the negatives. Let's amplify the positives and let's start the whole thing of unlearning, finding ways to unlearn the negatives. And so now, while still at unlearning, how can we unlearn? Sometimes unlearning is the challenge.
Yeah.
And it takes me think about if my habit is speaking badly, if my language is not great, and to the extent that this has been passed to my children, I just speak the way I speak. You say it because a family habit.
Yeah.
Here, according to us, it's not impolite, but because we're so used to
That's
it.
how we speak, yeah.
Out there, really, it's
Hurting people.
yes, you're hurting people. So how would I learn now, realizing that it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's doable?
Let me begin with that I had.
Yes.
I don't know whether that guy came up with it or he borrowed it. I didn't even bother to check.
Okay.
But he said the illiterate of our age are not the people who cannot read and write, but the people who are able to learn and learn and relearn.
Okay.
Those are the illiterates.
Yeah.
And bring it to habits. Because you pick up a new habit, it's exciting, it builds the family, it's a learning. Then you realize we have been doing something that is not correct.
Yeah.
And you begin to take steps to ditch to totally habit.
Can I give you an example? Like miscommunication.
Yes.
It's a habit.
Yes.
Where you find people are not communicating. Before you know it becomes.
Yeah. So easily, and every conversation now gets taken as an argument. And someone will easily say, those guys are always arguing.
Okay.
And it's only miscommunication.
Yeah.
What about you say, why are our conversations always a raised tone?
Yes.
People end up getting angry.
Yeah.
And then we do not speak for the next few days.
Yeah.
And then you say, we need to unlearn this. So intentionality again, use it.
That's our word.
Get
This
used
is
to
our
it.
word. It was our word in season 1. It will
Yes.
be our word as long as we need it.
Yeah.
When you realize that you've been doing something that is not very positive, that is impacting people negatively, you need to now begin to take the steps to unlearn it or to reverse it.
Yes.
My conversations, like the way I speak to you guys, has been hurting you. It is up to me now to say, wait, I need to actually be a builder to these people, not someone tearing them down.
Yeah.
And you see, that takes intentionality and unlearning a habit. Saying that I need to think before I act. That is the unlearning part. And relearning how to communicate, because relearning is part of it.
Yeah.
A totally new thing or something that I had forgotten. You bring it on board and say, now I can do this.
Yeah. Okay. And Joanne, what do you think?
I think the most important part is to first of all understand where it comes from, because I believe that there is nothing that just exists like hanging somewhere. Always there's somewhere it comes from. Someone who's always speaking evil.
Yeah.
There's a heart. There's a damage that has been caused to their heart that is causing them, because Scripture tells us, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So what is full in your heart is what will always come out. So I think it is important for people as individuals and as families to address the actual underlying issues, because I feel like sometimes as families we tend to throw things under the table like every other day, like we don't have to deal with it, let's tunasukuma too, we're just pushing things. I feel to unlearn you have to really first of all address the foundation. Where do all these things come from? Do I speak ill because that is how I was brought up? That is how my parents spoke to me as I was growing up, so that's the only way I know how to speak. Do we throw insults because that's just how we know how to do it? Are we hard? Is it the reason why we are doing this? Do we always feel the need to be defensive, and that's why we're going to throw insults around? So I think it's important for individuals in a family to first of all understand what is the basis, like what is the foundation, why are we doing these things the way we do them? And if you again intentionality, you have to be intentional about, as John, why do I behave like this? Why do I speak like this? And then when I do that for myself, and you do that, and he does that in our family, then we will begin to actually tell each other that, you know what, I do this because of this. And then you will help me be accountable, I will help you, and that will be very helpful.
Wow, nice. When I think about all the things you've talked about, you even brought in the aspect of sometimes defensiveness.
Yeah.
Can also become a habit.
Yeah.
The way we react, like when we're angry.
Even being corrected, you just feel the need to throw around.
Yes,
Yeah.
these are family habits. And now that brings us again to the aspect of family awareness and self-awareness.
Yeah.
Because I can see sometimes we may not be seeing like we have bad habits as a family, unless we actually intentionally sit down and take stock.
Yeah.
So we are challenging ourselves to sit down, take out a pen, sit with your family and start asking the question.
Yeah.
How our family is driving us to become more cohesive, and what habits do we have that will be driving us to the reverse side?
Yeah, and I think even
Very
just
important.
the humility to actually go ahead and ask someone, what habit don't you like about me?
I think that's the everything.
Yeah,
Good.
within a
What
family.
is still
Yeah.
like sit down with your family, take stock.
Yes.
It narrows down
To even
to humility.
Yeah.
And let's challenge everyone
Yeah.
from right here to
Yeah.
you guys.
Yes.
Are you willing to find the humility to say, guys, we need a stock take?
Yeah.
Every great company does a stock take.
Yeah.
True.
Every so often within the year.
Yeah.
I work somewhere and we are doing stock takes every month.
Okay.
And then every quarter it was better. So
Good.
every
Right.
month there is an internal one.
Yeah.
And then every quarter there is a major one. So like every single time you have to think of what am I reporting? And if we are humble enough to come together, that mom, a brother, sister, with lay down the ego on the table and say, today I need you guys to be my helpers, to be my support, my basic support. You need to tell me, what do you think I have been doing that builds you guys up or tears you guys down?
Yeah.
Is there something that I do, a way I do something that now has been tearing you down over the last few years.
Yeah.
And that humility now begins to build up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. We're being challenged. Borrow and leave. It's time to do an evaluation and monitoring.
Yes.
Keep monitoring. Don't do it only once.
Yeah.
This needs to also become a habit.
Yes.
Tradition.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, as we do all these things, we do acknowledge there will be challenges,
Yes,
and possibly one of the challenges is resistance to change.
Yeah.
All the way even from individual level. You know, when somebody is trying to instill a new habit and we are working so hard, you find today we woke up, we sang the happy birthday. Today we affirmed each other, tomorrow we forgot.
Yeah.
These are some of the challenges we face. Joanna wants us to encourage our viewer and tell them that despite the challenges, what are some of the things we can do when we encounter these challenges? Just to tell us, please press on. It's a great thing to do.
I think sometimes we're guilty of beating ourselves up too much. I know I am.
Yes.
I do that a lot. And once in a while, and just you will pick up the habit and say that we're going to affirm each other. And what happens is when you fail once, you're like, forget it, we tried. No, the point is keeping on, like regardless. Today we forgot, even if you remembered at midday, reach out to someone. It's not too late. The day is not over. If you remember in the evening, tell them in the evening, you know. Again, let's not do it out of obligation. I think that's also something else.
Yeah.
If you do it out of obligation, then you'll get to the point where you'll be like, your energy will just die.
True.
But then do it from a place of love. You know, let it come from love, so that I'm affirming you not because it's a new day and I have to, but I'm affirming you because this is what I actually want to do.
Yeah.
So keeping. I mean, it's all about being relentless, about pushing on, even if you forgot, even if you didn't do a good job, even if someone woke up in a bad mood and they didn't take your affirmation so seriously. It's fine.
Yeah.
Keep doing it and constantly remember to do it from a place of love and not just because you guys said you were going to do it. Yeah.
And it will be different, I believe, if you are the leader, and I believe everybody is, including these children. It's when you commit that I will affirm her, I will affirm him, no matter how maybe I may be feeling.
Yeah.
Because we have said this is where we want to go. This is the goal we have set.
Yeah.
And these are the habits we want to create. Meja, please give our viewers some.
Now, that famous mtaka cha mfunguni ati ainame. Joan hinted at the table and blessing you. Now, it's not about that. It is about hustling to get to a good place.
Yes.
You have to put your effort in it. Don't beat yourself up, but put your effort into it.
Yeah.
Fail and say, today I have failed, but today the sun has set. Tomorrow it will rise again, and I shall try again, and I shall give it everything I have, and make the best I can, so that you can only fail so much.
Yeah.
You can be Abraham Lincoln and fail to be president all those times, and then one time it will happen.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, when you leave, it will be glorious, it will be wonderful.
Yeah.
You will be happy about yourself.
Amen. We pray for that, and reminding parents, because they play a key role in families,
Yes.
that remember the habits you create today are going to affect your generation and the generations and generations to come.
Yeah.
So purpose to create great family habits. We are glad you have been watching our viewer. We have been talking about nurturing great family habits, and we do pray that you will take stock, as we said, starting from here, just to recognize that we need to really intentionally think about nurturing great family habits. Thank you for watching. We look forward to see you next time. Kwaheri.
Don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe, and to share the link with anyone else, and hit the notification bell so that you're always aware whenever we have a new video coming up. Bye-bye.